Africa has it, Western America has it, every country has it. So very important that we do that. Now innovation, how do we diffuse them? We can diffuse them through commercial channel. Many countries and many governments have a bias for markets, as if market can solve all problems. Yes, it can solve many problems, but not all problems. If you find private vendor who can, a private manufacturer who can make this product at a low cost, make it available to everybody, service them, by all means go ahead. I don't have any problem. We do buy things for ourselves every day. So if we buy things that are made by grassroots innovators or made based on their idea, fine. But there will be many solutions for which there are no private entrepreneurs. Because markets are limited, markets are not well spread. We were walking in Assam, Dhimaji, in the workbook that you will find this example is there. And the water was very rich in iron. Now iron is a double-edged sword. If you have too much iron, it becomes toxic. So in Dhimaji, water is very high rich in iron. So they used the local filter where they had sand and pebble and different things. So water became clean. So we filled our bottle with that water and we started walking. After walking few steps, we noticed the water has become brown. That means they were dissolved iron, which when oxidation took place by shaking it, got brown ferrous oxide. Now, that means the filter was not good enough. The solution that people had found was not good enough. Was doing some work, but not enough. So now we need a sector intervention to improve the filter system by which the dissolved iron can also be removed. Now the region is about, let's say, 20,000 families or 50,000 families, of whom maybe 10,000 would buy your filter. Which company will manufacture 10,000 filters on a new product line? Tell me. You see the point? So what will happen to the need of these people? These needs will remain unmet. So how do we meet it? Either you make the technology open source and encourage small entrepreneurs, village entrepreneurs, to use this open source technology and make it for local use. So different vendors will make 10 pieces, 20 pieces, 50 pieces, and people will start getting this solution. One way. Or if you have a public sector manufacturing unit, you make large number of such filters and distribute it wherever required. Whenever market is small or niche based, private sector intervention is not likely. Private sector needs large scale. So should we wait for a disease which affects 20,000 people now to become so pervasive that 20 million people get affected by the disease, then private sector company will develop a drug fund. But if it's 20,000 people, these are called orphan drugs. They will not. So where do we get solution for them? You see? We need different models. We can't say that your problem is not interesting to me because your problem is small scale. But I'm a citizen of the country. You have a duty toward me. My country should serve me. I'm a citizen. I have rights. I have entitlements. Don't ask me to wait indefinitely. So grassroots innovations therefore provide effective means of disseminating solutions which are affordable, accessible. But to make them available, we can have commercial channel and also social channel. Social channels can be do it yourself. Social channels can be small vendors given right at very low licensing rate or free. Social channels can be teaching the technical students in industrial training institutes or polytechnic. They can be given job. The graduating class can be given the choice. Anybody who wants to set up an enterprise on this, they will get for 1 year or 2 years a fellowship to survive if their product doesn't sell. And they know how. Now you have created an entrepreneur from the local economy who will make their product, have assurance of survival for at least 1 year, salary, small stipend, and the work will get done. If he doesn't get it done, if he gets more money, he will survive without fellowship afterwards. If not, you have at least tried, and we will try in different regions. So new models will have to be developed of delivering solutions that are effective in solving problems, but that are not reaching the target group because markets are not able to clear the demand at the price at which people can afford. So one innovator was very smart, Oklechwal, many years ago, 93, 94. He had a herbal pesticide formulation. So he wrote on the wall of the village and said, anybody who wants to make it, make it. But if you don't have time to make it, buy it from me. Clever fellow. He knew that many people will not go through the hassle of collecting these leaves, boiling them, extracting them, fermenting them. He was very clever. But he made it open source so that nobody can say, look, I can't buy it. You didn't care about me. No, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking it's sufficient. So you blend open source social diffusion with market diffusion. There are different models that we can use. And we need to use different models because no one model will fit everywhere. We need to different. The mountain area, so difficult to deliver. We had a landslide. We had gone with our students. With great difficulty, we would cross the point at which the stones had fallen down. Otherwise, our vehicle would be lying there. The vehicle was lying there for 1 week. So, what do you do in such places? You have to deliver solutions there. You have to deliver solutions there. Innovation ecosystem. What is innovation ecosystem? The ecosystem is one where there's a lot of synergy. There's a lot of mutual dependence. There's a lot of mutual appreciation. I recognize your need, you recognize my need. Though some actors are more dominant than others, just as some species are more dominant than others. So many times ecosystems get dominated by stronger actors and the weaker actors get suppressed. Our role is to create an ecosystem where even the weak actors will find voice, will have a say. Who is the weakest link? Innovator. Innovator's wife, innovator's children, innovator's grandparent or parent. Many innovators are so possessed by the urge to solve problems, they neglect their families. I have come across this example many times. And many of you might do the same thing. I do the same thing. We neglect our families. So their voice gets suppressed. Ecosystem will take care of that. Will ensure that those who are passionately pursuing an agenda, at least there's some system of taking care of their other needs. We have tried, we have not done it as yet, but we're thinking of an insurance coverage for large number of innovators whose ideas may be good but not yet enough good to become marketable. But when they get sick, they have no coverage now. The government has a policy action on that. So insurance could be such small support by which you can incorporate them into the public delivery systems of health, education, other things, and they get attention till their product or service reaches the market. There are a lot of things that public system has to offer. And it is not necessary that my idea always must become viable for me to be entitled to public resource. I am saying if somebody brings out a new idea, can we put them in the very important, very innovative person category, a new category, VIP, very innovative person. Correct? And those VIPs will get attention. They will get a card, very innovative person, and with that card, wherever he goes or she goes, they will get priority attention. They will get better, faster reservation in the train, they will get faster booking the flight, they will get delivery from the public distribution system, whatever. If they go to doctor, they will get sufficient discount, concession, something. Why can't we do that for our people who are solving problems and sharing the solution? Simple thing. Correct? For political people, we do all the time. Why not for creative people? So we can create. So ecosystem is where you bring regulatory agencies, funding agencies, technology agencies, delivery system together. But please don't make the best the enemy of better, we said in the beginning. If everybody doesn't come together, that doesn't mean that we will not implement. Sometimes the policies are taking care of only one problem. For example, we give funds for prototyping. But prototyping needs to field tested. I made one prototype, but now I go to the funding agency and they say, how many tests have you done? Sir, I have only one prototype. I need to have at least 10 so that I can give to different people for testing. But the policy may not give fund for 10 prototypes. You see the point? So the funnel doesn't proceed further. I am stuck where I am. For all my life, I live with one prototype, show it in different exhibitions, get recognition for that, and the problem doesn't get solved. That prototype remains one prototype. So then we have to create policy framework. Anything which is good, which is crossing the threshold, at least get 10, 20, 30, depending on how costly it is, and test it in different places, formal sector, informal sector. Let the government department, government universities test it, but also informal sector test it. Once you get the feedback, then decide how to scale up. So ecosystem will create such linkages that on its own are not getting made by the markets or by the state. So ecosystem always, all ecosystems have gaps, including our country. For a long time, and certainly all of us struggled, that when we went to the university for testing some farmer's idea, they wanted to charge a fees. And that fees was same they will charge a company. I have veterinary medicine. They will charge 10 animals, 3 applications, one animal costs 30,000, 40,000 rupees. Now can you imagine how much cost it is to test one veterinary medicine? How can an innovator or a pastoralist or an animal keeper pay that cost? Who will pay that cost? And if this cost is not paid, that solution will never become part of a public animal care system. Nobody will manufacture it, nobody will prescribe it, it will not be sold. It's a gap. Because public institutions say we have limited budget, give them a separate budget for testing the technologies of the common people. Give them separate budget. Every public sector lab should have, even IITs don't have separate budget for testing our products. You see the point? CSR doesn't have separate budget. They did 1 year, no, not 1 year, from 2004 to 2009, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research provided about $150,000, which they will give to their labs for adding value, validating and value adding the technologies of classroom innovators. They had an MOU with NIF and CSR. That was one model. You give money to your lab, don't give it to us, but to test the ideas of the people. Clear public policy. It did not continue as much as it could have, but at least it reduced one excuse that lab can often say, we don't have funds. So, how do we create public policy mechanisms to facilitate the ecosystem working? Actors are there in the ecosystem. How to make them work with each other? This is the point. If we have good ideas, and if the public sector labs are not testing it, the regulatory agencies will not certify it. They want public testing facility certificate. Correct? If you have a herbal pesticide, they want Central Insecticide Board or some agency, agriculture university to certify it is safe. How can that farmer pay the money? So here NIF helps. In your country, you will have to find who will help it. But somebody has to pay that fees. Otherwise, that product will never get tested and will not get certified. And if it doesn't get certified, it will never be manufactured. If it is not manufactured and financed by the banks, it will never reach people. All of that has to be done. All of that has to be done.